This show is sponsored by PowerfulWomenUSA.com. Hey, everybody, I'm Jill Conway, and this is Secrets of Powerful Women, a show dedicated to celebrating and supporting strong and successful women and sharing their stories. I'm hoping that you will be inspired to pursue your own dreams, reclaim your voice, and discover your strengths. So my guest today is Eva Kennedy. Eva is a transformational life coach. She is a breast cancer survivor, and she is founder of 1 Million Women, 1 Million Steps. She is also a 3-time author. Her latest book is Just Leap. So Eva, thank you for coming on the show and welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Oh, well, you're amazing. You're amazing, and you have an amazing story. So first, let's talk about the whole 1 million women, 1 million steps. How did that story come about? How did that movement?
Thanks for asking. I truly appreciate it. And I always say God's got some serious explaining to do. This was placed on my heart in 2022, and I actually put notes on my phone. In the beginning of this year, and actually I made the decision last year to relaunch and rebrand my business. And I knew then at the beginning of the year that it was time for me to launch this program. And it's all about really creating that space and place for women to be the true essence of who they are by taking one bold, intentional step at a time to pursue what it is they desire.
I want to talk about that because I always talk about, faith and, the inner callings of the soul, I think as someone said, the whispers of the soul. So what do you mean? Like you felt it? What do you mean? Like for the women listening is it intuition? Is it just that gnawing feeling that you need to do something? What was it?
It's all of the above. It's really being in tune to the inner person that's within. And what I've learned to do, and I think I've always been that person where I've been in tune to my inner being. And I can hear or I realize when that still small voice is speaking to me. And I guess what I could say is what I've learned over the years is to listen. So that little still small voice, I was walking one day and that little still small voice said 1 million women, 1 million steps. And I actually stopped and took notes and put it on my phone. So I had that little feeling, I could hear it, that still small voice saying, launch 1 million women, 1 million steps.
Oh, I love that. All right. So I always tell my story for people who haven't heard it, similar to yours, Eva, which is why I love you. Because I when this show came about, this idea, Secrets of Powerful Women, it started as a radio show, but before that, I meditate. And I'm kind of new to it, but I've been new to it. I'm over a year. I've been trying to do it, right? Getting really quiet. But I finally got into this very, very deep meditation where there was no noise. There was nothing, right? And then this came. And then I heard this name. I heard it. I heard Secrets of Powerful Women radio, the whole thing. And I was like, what? Like, what? And then I came out and I wrote it all down and here we are, over a year later. But so I believe in that. I love it. And I think what your story is such a huge example of too, is like, we have to teach ourselves to believe and hear and listen to that voice.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Because it's really about focusing and tapping into the person within and being so connected to the person within that when the person within nudges you or put that gnawing in your belly or speak to you, you recognize it instantly. And we all have it. We just don't all utilize it.
Well, some of us, some people, you've probably met them, they're like, I don't think I have it, right?
Yeah. I know my friends will say to me, Eva, God talks to you all the time. I said, that's because I talk to him and I listen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Isn't that funny? It's so funny because I heard that once and it was prayer is you talking to God and meditation or getting quiet is God talking to you. You know, that's when the magic
Exactly.
happens. That's when the
Yes.
magic happens. So you weren't always a transformational coach. So what did you do before and how did you get to here?
Wow, that's thank you for asking that. And I love to share the story because I'm reminded of my journey, and I have become the woman I am today to do what I've been called to do based on the fact that I've been obedient and followed through. I have a corporate background. I worked in for a corporate company for 29 years. And after being diagnosed with breast cancer
Mm,
and
so
having a
sorry.
reoccurrence within 5 years,
Wow.
I went through a lot with reconstructive surgeries. I was married to the company, but
Mm,
each time I had a setback with the reconstructive surgeries, I started to think more about my health and my life. And eventually, the company offered a buyout to anyone. I had not planned on leaving, but I was so tired and I prayed about it. And when they offered it, and when I heard that little still small voice say, "It's time for you to go," I left.
mm.
But fast forward, I gave myself permission to take 5 years off. I became a professional volunteer, and then I had that gnawing in my belly. I was anxious. I knew there was more to my life. I just didn't know how to move forward. And I run the lakefront, or I used to, and I would pray and I would cry. What's my purpose?
Mm.
And I was looking around outside, not realizing I had all the answers within me. And here's what's so powerful. One day, that little still small voice asked, "Eva, what's important to you?" I didn't know how to answer it. I didn't know what it meant. And then finally, one day, I sat myself down. I identified, defined, and prioritized my top 5 values. And that
Oh,
led me to coaching school. That was the beginning of my journey of self discovery and transformation.
wow. Wow. Well, let's just jump back a moment. First of all, amazing two-time breast cancer survivor.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's incredible. So, um, amen, amen to that.
Thank you.
Um, but that so, and then you said you were married to your job, so you gave your job everything, right?
Yes, yes.
And then when you got sick, you realized maybe this isn't all that it's cracked up to be, or was that the when you got sick initially, that was the catalyst that kinda said, "I'm out?"
When I had a reoccurrence within 5 years,
Mm,
and I had so many setbacks with the reconstructive surgeries,
yeah.
it it's like every time I got to the finish line, they moved the finish line. And I felt like life was trying to teach me something, but I didn't know what it was trying to teach me. It was like a gnat. And I
Mm,
kept saying, God is trying to tell me something. But what was happening is each time I had a setback, I focused more on my health and less on the job. And it got to the point I was mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted. So when they offered it to anyone by that time, my whole thoughts about how I looked at the job had changed.
mm,
And it was more about, Eva, you need to take care of yourself.
mm. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And well, that's amazing. Well, I think that's huge.
Yeah.
And that's not something, right? I mean, when you're in the corporate world, that's not something they wanna hear.
No.
That's not no. So, when you so you took a great pivot. So you took a few years off. You as you said, you were a professional volunteer, right?
Yeah.
And then when this thought came to you to start 1 million women, 1 million steps. I mean,
Mm.
how did you go about it? You became a coach, you said, which was
Well, yes,
yeah.
I went to coaching school. I left the corporate world in 2006. I
Okay.
went to coaching school in 2013, became certified in 2015. 2022 is when 1 million women, 1 million steps actually was placed on my heart. but I've been a coach, a certified coach since 2015.
I love certified because you've probably been a coach for like 30 years.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So then talk to me, I mean, what do you mean by 1,000,000 steps? What do you mean by that?
Well, it's really just a creative movement to get 1 million women just to take one bold, intentional step to give herself permission to be okay with pursuing what it is she desire, because so many of us, we hold that space and that place for everyone else, but we
Mhm.
don't do it for ourselves.
Right.
And for women to feel it is okay to pursue what it is you desire, not from a selfish standpoint, but I want women to look at life as if it's their lives as well. It's not only about everybody else, but it's about you too.
Mm.
And for women to understand that they deserve to live an amazing life, because we carry the weight for everyone.
Do you get pushback when you say that to women?
No, because
No?
most of the women that I meet,
Mm.
they agree.
Yeah. But
I
it's a
mean,
hard
you
I
can
agree with you too, but that's a hard thing. That's a hard concept for because I feel like culture and society will say, "You give and you give and you give," you know?
yeah,
And at being selfish, it's being selfish. Self-care is selfish. And it's not.
most definitely not.
Yeah.
And here's what a lot of women don't realize. When you give all the time, right? And you're holding that space and that place for everyone else. What happens when you no longer have in you the ability to give? Then what happens to all these people you've been lifting up?
Ooh. Wow. In other words, what you think is it reciprocated or do you have the strength to take care of yourself? Or is it
You have to have the strength to take care of yourself too.
yeah.
Because here's the other thing, what we realize this, but we don't think about it. It's very common. We don't think about it, right?
Mhm.
When we allow our light to shine, when we pursue what it is we desire, we're giving other women permission to do the same thing. And that's how we rise as a community. That's how you get 1 million women to take 1 million steps. So it's
Mm,
okay.
mm. When
And
you
it's
talk
not selfish.
yeah, no, I don't think it is. When you talk about 1,000,000 steps, you mean take the baby steps first, right?
Yes, exactly. Because far too often, number one, women will have a desire.
Mhm.
And in some cases, it's been so suppressed, right? Because society, family pressures, not
Mhm.
believing in themselves,
Mm. Big one.
big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, first of all, give yourself permission to acknowledge that you want more out of life, to acknowledge it. That's
Mm,
taking a step right there. That's one single step right there, just to
mm,
acknowledge that you want more. And then what happens, Jill? Some of us want more and we can't see how we can achieve it. So we get discouraged and we don't even start. And some of us, because of fear and all of these self imposed obstacles, we won't even start.
mm. But, I mean, we do it to ourselves. We say those things to ourselves. I mean, often it's not another person saying it to
Yeah,
us, you
yeah.
know?
We have this tension going on within ourselves, this fight, this
Mm.
internal fight. And this is something I read the other day, and I'm paraphrasing, is that why would you allow something to hold you back when you know you have the power to overcome it?
Oh, wow. Okay, explain. Explain, Eva.
Internal obstacles, fear, doubt, validation, fear,
Mm,
where it can paralyze us. Doubt, that little voice that tells you you're not good enough, who do you think you are, can paralyze you. But think
mm,
about it. You have the power to overcome that. So why would you allow it to
mm,
stop you from pursuing what it is you desire? Why would you give it your power?
mm. I always say that to people, like, stop giving your power away, right? To
Yeah,
other people and valuing other people's opinions over your own. Like,
yeah,
just why should it matter? You know? I had 3 kids and I say to them, like, and so many people have said it now, but, it's been around for a while. It's like, don't go to people if you wouldn't go to them for advice, don't value their criticism, right? I
yeah.
mean, and it's like we are living in a world, especially with social media and certain situations where we just other people's opinions are so valued and you use them and for your own life. And I just don't get it.
Well,
I d-
and another way to look at it, Jill, is this: when you're seeking validation or you value other people more so than yourself. So, are you telling yourself that you're not as good? Are you telling yourself you're not good enough? It's all
Mm,
about perspective too. And
mm,
sometimes when you just change your perspective, it gives you the encouragement and inspiration to move forward.
mm.
Well, think about it.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that people even go that deep though? They even realize that that's what they're doing to themselves, or maybe they, go back to um, a person in their life or growing up where there was a trauma or a situation that they don't even consciously remember, but it really affected their life. Like they were bullied or bad parenting or whatever it was, and they keep replaying it, so they don't they don't allow themselves to process it and get through it.
Yeah. I think conversations like this,
Mm,
what you're doing, you're creating that space. You're creating um, opportunities for women to think about their lives differently.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
far too often, the circle or the community that we're in, we shrink in our
Mm,
circles, we shrink in our communities. And I think what you're doing, having these conversations, right,
mm,
is really presenting women with an opportunity to think differently about
mm.
themselves.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And just, I think we're not alone. Nobody's alone. Everyone thinks they're alone when they're going through something, whatever it is, but someone else is going through it. Someone else is hearing the doubts. Someone else has a good idea and is saying, "Oh, no, I can't do that. What am I, well, like you said, what am I thinking? Who do I think I am?"
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
And that's part of the 1,000,000 Women, 1,000,000 Steps. It's the framework is built
mm,
around 4 C's.
mm.
And the first C is clarity. Be clear about what it is you want to achieve. But equally important, be honest with yourself.
Wow, that's hard for
Right.
people to do, though.
I know.
That can rattle, a few lives there,
Yeah. But you
Yeah,
have to go within too, because some of us, and this happened to me, and I experienced this year. We have suppressed it so deeply, we're not even aware.
right,
Yeah. So you have
right.
to be honest. And then the second one is courage. Once you declare what it is you want, you have to have the courage to push past the fear
Ugh, yeah, that's
and the
hard too.
doubt.
That's
Yeah.
hard too, Eva.
They're all hard, but they're
Right,
doable.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And then the third C is commitment to be, make the commitment to yourself, to
Mm,
have, to be intentional, right? And
mm.
unwavering faith. Believe.
What's the hardest out of those 3? And you've probably, worked with hundreds, if not thousands of women already, right? What's the hardest part for out of all those for most women to take on? Is it the honesty with being honest with themselves?
Clarity and courage.
Mm,
Because you touched on something a moment ago, and I'll share this with you. When I was in coaching school, we did this exercise to create our life purpose statement. And my life purpose statement was, I am the voice that inspires others to embrace life.
oh, I love that.
I couldn't even say it for 6 months
Mm.
because who do you think you are? The little negative self-imposed
Mhm.
obstacle? Who do you think you are What make you think someone is going to listen to you? And even when I launched 1,000,000 Women, 1,000,000 Steps, oh, you can't do 1,000,000. You should do 1,000. You don't even get your isms right,
Oh
right?
gosh.
No one's going to listen to you. Clarity and courage. And
Hmm.
the other one, which was so powerful, and that happened this year, it was Memorial Day weekend. And I was upstairs in my bedroom, and all of a sudden, this fear just came over me. And because I've been doing this so long, I recognize immediately. I picked up the phone and I reached out to my network. No one picked up the phone.
Mm.
So I had to sit and be with it. And the little voice within me said, "You are doing everything except one thing." And I said, "What is it?" Says, "You have not declared you're an empowerment speaker."
Ooh.
Now, the
Yeah.
reason I bring this up, because you asked me
Mhm.
which ones are the most difficult or which one is clarity and
Mm.
courage. Now, here's the thing. When I was in the corporate world, and this is a true story, I was sitting in a meeting and the person sitting opposite of me wrote on a piece of paper, and I could see by the movement of his
Mm.
hand that he wrote my name.
Mhm.
And he folded it and passed it to the person next to him. The person read it. They looked at each other. He folded it and put it on and left it on the table. So after the meeting, I ran back into the room and I read it. And it said, "Eva preaches to us."
Mm.
And what I didn't realize all of this time, this was back in 1995, true story. I was sitting out in Seattle in a
Mm.
meeting.
Wow.
I allowed that to suppress my voice all of this time. So I was doing workshops, speaking with women, empowering women, but I had not declared I'm an empowerment speaker because I allowed that statement to shut my voice down.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
So to be clear about what you want, I had buried it so deeply,
Mhm.
I didn't even realize
Right.
that it still existed.
Mm.
So be clear about what you want and then
Mm.
have the courage. So I screamed, "I'm an empowerment speaker." And what's interesting, I had been doing it, but I just had not declared it.
Mm.
And I realized if my style is preachy, then that's my style and it's
Right.
okay.
Right. Right. You'll
So
find the
that's
right
the
audience. The
yeah,
audience will find you. Yeah.
yes. Be
Yeah.
clear about what you want and then have the courage. Those are the 2 most difficult.
Well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. So, what do you say to someone who says, "I have no idea. I don't know how to even be clear." What do you mean by being clear? I don't know what I want. What would you say?
Just be still. Go within. Ask yourself, what is it that I want?
Mm.
You have all the answers. Now, the answers are within. And sometimes we won't express outwardly what it is because of fear. We can't see how we are going to achieve it. We don't think we're worthy enough.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah. So go within.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
seeking my purpose. I was running the lakefront and talking to everyone, but I had all the answers within me.
Boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. But to people, I do think we do have so many of the answers, or all of the answers, but it's hard for people to get to there.
Mhm.
And do you tell people to journal or anything? I feel like journal really helps many people, including myself.
Yeah. It does, but I'll tell you how I got to mine values. My friends will tell you I'm the values queen. I would run the lakefront and I would cry and pray and ask, "What's my purpose?" And one
Mhm.
day, that still small voice asked me, "Eva, what's important to you?" I didn't know what it meant, but
Yeah.
eventually I set myself down. I identified, defined,
Mm.
and prioritized my top 5 values. That became my roadmap. And
Right.
most people cannot name their top 5 values in order of priority.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I knew whatever I was seeking my purpose, so I knew whatever I did going forward had to be aligned with those values, and that's how I was led to coaching school.
Mm,
So the first thing you have to know is what's important to you.
I love that.
Yeah.
I don't even think some people even ever that question ever crosses their mind
No.
that they ask themselves.
Yeah.
No, right? Because I think sometimes the answer might surprise you,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
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 Because it's really is finding, like, what you want, and to that effect, like, I feel like, you know, for women listening or whoever's listening, I mean, have that conversation with the knowledge that the answers are just for you. You can
Yeah.
say anything you want to say. "I wanna be a star on Broadway. I want" whatever it is. It's not too big. It's not too big a dream, right? It's whatever you wanna do, and then see how you would go about doing it,
Yeah.
right?
Because you can be, do, and have whatever you want. The only limits we have are the limits we place on ourselves.
Mm, yeah.
The limitless possibilities. You just have to
Mhm.
believe.
Mm, and when the world wants you to doubt yourself, right?
Yeah, you just have
Yeah.
to believe. And that's the fourth C for the 1,000,000 women, 1,000,000 steps. It's community.
Mm,
You have to surround yourself with the people that would hold that will hold that space and place for you that's going to encourage you. So on those days, and yes, you will have those days when you doubt, they hold you up.
mm, yeah.
And everyone was not meant to be in our lives for a lifetime.
I love that. That's true, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. But we think they do. We think they're supposed to, right? Or we don't want change or, whatever it is. I think, like, people someone was on a podcast, a while ago. She was um, one of the first guests, I think, and she said something, and I always go back to it, and she said, I was willing to, make myself uncomfortable for the comfort of someone else."
yeah,
And I was like, "Whoa, that felt like a bomb," you know?
yeah. Then the question becomes, what is it about yourself that you believe is undeserving?
Oh, wow.
Right? What is it?
Mm,
And some people, it's the culture, the
mhm,
environment. This
mhm,
is how they were brought up.
yeah,
What is it about yourself that you feel that you have to shrink to make other people
mm,
feel powerful?
yeah.
You're giving your power away.
Oh my god, Eva, you're so good. All right. We're gonna come back because we have so much to talk about, and I want to, talk more about, 1,000,000 women, 1,000,000 steps. But, all right, so let's pause here, though. Again, we'll be back with Eva Kennedy after the commercial break. You're listening to Secrets of Powerful Women. Help me get the word out. Share this with a friend because it is so good. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. I'm Jill Conway. If you love what you're listening to, please like and subscribe to my channel on whatever podcast platform you listen to and on YouTube so I can keep bringing you these amazing women and sharing their stories. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you love it as much as I do. Welcome back. You're listening to Secrets of Powerful Women. Eva Kennedy is with me. Eva is a transformational coach, and she is founder of 1,000,000 Women, 1,000,000 Steps. So, Eva, we had just such a great conversation in the last half. But why did you choose? And you mentioned it briefly, but why did you choose like 1,000,000? Is that your goal to reach and work with 1,000,000? How did you even, why 1,000,000? You just heard it.
Well, it was placed on my heart.
Yeah. Mhm.
And it's really about creating an environment for women to pursue what it is they desire by taking one step at a time.
Yeah.
It's about women embracing who they are and really claiming their story, their name, and their voice.
Mm. When do you feel like people know what they wanna do? Do you think it's like they have to go back to what they wanted to do when they were younger as a child? Do you think it's or no, it's just something that comes out?
Well, we go through there are different stages of life. And in each stage of life are areas of focus it's different.
Mhm.
When you are in school, you're focused on the education. When you come out of school, you're focusing on that career,
Mm.
right? And then there's this area, a phase, I call midlife transition. And that's that stage where so many of us start to question
Mm.
everything. I call it the awakening stage.
Yeah.
It's when we look at our lives and we question, am I fulfilled? What is my purpose? What's important to me? Have I sacrificed what's important to me?
To make other people happy?
Yes.
Mm.
And what does this next chapter look like? So it's during that phase, I think, is when we really start to look at our lives independently from an internal perspective. Because until that point, right, you're brought up and you're taught you have to go to school. Natural. You're following, right, what your parents and society
Yeah.
wants for you or is telling you what you should do. Then the next one, you come out of school, is you get a job. You get in debt, you go into debt,
Yeah.
right?
It's
And you
true.
focus on that career.
Right.
And then this midlife transition, you start thinking independently. That's the awakening stage. That's when you start looking at your life differently and thinking about what is it that I truly desire. So you make different decisions and choices and different at different stages of your life. So I think when you get to midlife transition is when you really start to question where you are and what's next.
Mm. And this is on your website, you talk about the crossroads, and do you feel like you asked the question, which I love asking questions, obviously, but I feel like the questions, on your website are so profound because the question here, do you feel like you've outgrown your life?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, because you look at everything that you've accomplished and you work so hard, right? And in some
Yeah.
cases, all of a sudden, it doesn't mean what it meant before because you're not fulfilled.
Right.
You start seeking purpose, right? And then you realize it's not necessarily about you either. It's how you show up. How do you serve?
Right.
Some people start thinking about, well, this is midlife. What's my legacy?
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Right. So what do you, I love it too. You said, you help people who are searching for clarity and purpose, but for the most part, as we've mentioned, people are scared, and there are people who think like they found their groove and that's it. And it's not healthy to to not be content, right? That
right.
that people should be, "Oh, be content. You seem like you have it all." I love that one. "You seem like you have it all. You should just be happy with what you have. Why do you have to keep, you know, changing and pushing to the next level," type of thing. What do you say to that? Because I feel like I personally feel that a lot of people, don't be content. Never be content. Keep striving, keep growing, keep evolving, right?
Yeah. Well, what I say, number one, to thy own self be true.
Mm,
Whatever it is that you want. So to thy own self be true. And here's the thing life is a process of evolution. Life is a process of
mm,
evolution. We grow, we learn, we grow, we learn, and we continue to evolve to become the person we need to become to do what we were called to do.
mm. Mm. It's hard for people to, um, to reason with, I feel like, I
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard for people.
And that's why community, I keep going back to that.
Mm,
Community is so important.
yeah.
Because if you find yourself surrounded by people who don't support you, you have to shrink to be
Mm,
around them, then it's time to think about how you want these people to show up in your life.
mm. I think that
Boundary.
I was gonna say, especially I think women, I don't know about men, but women reach a certain age and they start looking around, and some people are like, you know, "Are these my real friends?" Right?
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like you do that in your 50s, maybe even your 40s, but you're like, "Are we aligned anymore?" You
yeah.
know, because maybe you've changed and maybe they haven't, and they don't like the changes they see in you, you know?
We outgrow people and people outgrow us.
Yeah.
And sometimes we hold on because we feel responsible for them, we feel
Mhm,
obligated to them,
mhm,
and we will
mm.
do it at the sacrifice of what we desire. And that's why, and I can't say it enough, whatever it is you desire in this lifetime, because we only get to do it one time.
Mm.
Whatever it is you desire, you owe it to yourself to live an amazing life. But here's the thing, you get to define it.
Well, you get to choose, but
You
some
get
people
to choose.
don't think they get to choose. They think they're just handed this lot in life and that's it, right?
Yeah. You
Mm,
know, you know this, Jill. Life can be very challenging.
mm,
Life, with life comes emotions. Our emotions are up and down. And you have to be willing to do the work. If you have a desire, is it going to be easy? No,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy,
Mm,
but will you learn? Will you grow? Most definitely.
right.
Yeah. But is it easy to stay in that space and place that you're stuck in? Is that easy?
Mm, right.
Yeah. And how does that feel? Is it fulfilling? Is it purposeful? Probably not. So you get to choose. Either way, you're going to exist, but you get to determine how you exist.
Mm. Oh, I like that. And what would your future self say? Are they, are they proud of you? Are they saying keep going? I mean, when you look back, I read a book about that. I can't remember the name of it, but they said go to your future self and then look
Mhm,
back and say, you know, am I happy with those decisions that I made?
mhm.
Like, are you going to be in the same place you are now and that you are in 5 years from now?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's our I think our purpose on this earth, one of them, is to keep growing and keep evolving and keep trying to, make the world a better place. I do, it seems so corny, but I do believe that.
Mm. I feel the
Mm.
same way. I feel we're here to serve.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like I'm here to serve, to try to make a difference.
Yeah. We're doing it, Eva. We
Yes,
are doing it.
that's how I feel. That's how I
No, we
feel.
are. I do believe we are. Um, but I wanted to talk about something that you mentioned a little bit, but you said you help women thrive emotionally and navigate change.
Mhm.
And I do want to go back to it because I feel like that is it's hard for everyone to navigate change and to navigate their emotions because they do feel like maybe they're letting someone down or so how do you or can you give a tip for women who are going through something now maybe and to kind of ease that transition? It's not easy though.
Well, anytime change begins with awareness, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
First of all, awareness, be aware,
Yeah.
and then decide that you want to make change, right? So if you know right now, wherever you are in your life, you are not fulfilled.
Hmm.
So you decide today, I want more out of life. You've taken one step right there,
Right.
right? Write it down. You
Mm,
may not know what you want, but you know, I want more out of life. Write it down,
mm,
right? So begin with that.
right,
And then tap into the person within. Ask, what do I want? Because you have all the answers within. Here's the thing. And if you need help, get help. Far too often we won't seek help.
right.
Seek help.
Mm,
And you don't have to have all the answers today. You can write on a piece of paper, I want more out of life. Next question. What is it that I desire? And when the answers come to you, and they will, just write them down.
mm,
And eventually you will begin to see a pattern.
right.
Just take small steps, one step at a time.
That's the whole program, and that's what
Yeah.
I love, right? I feel
Mhm,
like if you think about the whole staircase, you know,
mhm.
it's overwhelming. How do
And
women
when
deal right.
yeah,
Sorry, I cut you
yeah,
off. What?
no, I'm sorry, and when obstacles show up, lean into them.
Mm.
They're not going to go away.
Ooh, yeah.
Lean
By
into them.
ignoring by ignoring them, which is what some people do. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah, but leaning in, so talk about that, like, leaning in is scary. People don't wanna feel, right?
You
I mean,
can
that's
have
where you
so
go,
you can have so much fun with this. I teach my clients, you can have so much fun with this. When fear shows up, doubt shows up, give them a name.
"Mm,
I was talking to a client yesterday, and she was talking about her anxiety and fear and doubt. And I said, give it a name. She named it Pickles.
okay,
So every time you feel fear, name it. Hey, Pickles, you
yeah,
know, I don't need you today. You have
right,
no power over me.
right,
So when Pickles show up and say, Jill, you can't achieve that, I belong in the room. Yes, I can.
mhm,
Rewrite the narrative. And the more you lean into it, and the more you rewrite the narrative, the stronger you become, the weaker the obstacle becomes.
mm, yeah, I agree with that." What are the majority of the people who come to see you, I mean, what's their main struggle,
They're
would you
at that
say?
point in their lives where they don't know what the next chapter is going to look like. They know they're
Mm,
not fulfilled. They know that where they are, they don't want to be, they want more. And how do you
mm,
get there? A lot of them just lacking the confidence,
mm, yeah,
because the unknown, right, is scary.
yeah,
Is building that confidence. And so many of us are holding on to, and you talked about this, you touched on this a little bit. So many of us have suppressed our emotions. And how do you work through them? That was me, my journey of self discovery and coaching. I had suppressed so many of my emotions, my feelings. I'd become an emotional prisoner holding myself hostage. I didn't know how to be free. I had this internal cup that spilled over. There was no more room for suppressing. So it's really about getting to know the person within and being okay. Or should I say, releasing the person within?
Ooh, I like that. Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's again, like I've said it on other shows, it's peel the onion, get to the core of who you are,
Yeah.
right?
And that's the hard work.
Yeah.
That's the hard work. And so many of us, number one, we don't know how to
Mhm.
peel back the layers, and we're afraid to.
Yeah, right. We're
Yeah.
afraid to have to confront things we don't want to confront.
But once you have nothing to hide, you have
Mm.
nothing to hide. Once you have nothing to hide, that's what freedom. That's what it means to be free.
And isn't that what we're all seeking, right? The freedom just to be ourselves, to let our soul sing. I mean, that's it, you
To
know.
be the true essence of who you are and show up for yourself every single day. Show up for yourself every single day. Be the best you can be. Do the best you can be
Mm,
every single day for you.
mm, that's awesome. Um, uh, I know we mentioned it. The live in alignment with your values, which you talked about, and also to create a purposeful and fulfilling life.
Mhm.
So, for many people, a purposeful life, like Is it a job? Is it it's different for everybody, obviously?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is,
that's fair.
because you may find that your purpose in life is different. It may be a job, but
Mm,
when you think about it realistically speaking, like I'm a life coach, and I know my purpose is to remind women of their power and to help guide them to live the lives they were created to live. That's not a job for me, but that's what I do. It is my
mm,
job, but it's not a job for me. It's fulfilling,
mm,
it's purposeful, and because I've worked really hard at it, I'm good at it. So it's not a job. So when see and help a woman, right? That's what brings me joy. So that's not work for me.
right. That's the saying, "You never work a day in your life," then, right?
There you go. There you go. That's it.
Um, Eva, for people stuck in a career that they don't like, I mean, I know we say, make change, but the devil's advocate again saying, "I can't leave my job, it pays the bills. I can't pursue my purpose. Maybe I wanna be," let's say, a singer. Um, I can't quit my job, I can't become a singer. I have to do all this. I have to pay the bills. What do you say to them?
See, everybody thinks you have to go left or right.
Uh-huh.
There's a middle road. People forget that. It's a middle road.
Mm.
So if you're working, and we'll stay with that example, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're working right now and if you know your passion and if you believe it's your purpose is to be a singer, number one, you'll find a way. But it doesn't necessarily mean you have to quit your job right now,
Right.
right? So you can come up with a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan, or a 2-year plan and say 5 years from now, I plan to be, this is what I'm going to be doing full time. But in the meantime, it doesn't mean you cannot be taking those steps that's going to get you to that point. That's the middle road. So maybe you may decide that I'm going to look for part-time jobs singing so I can sing on the weekends. Remember, and I don't know if you know this, Potbelly. I remember years ago, Potbelly, the sandwich shop. Do they have them in New York?
They don't, but I'm often in Texas and they're fantastic, by the way.
Right, but no, when I used to go to Potbelly, the sandwich shop, that there would always be entertainment there.
Yes.
Someone would be there playing the
Oh,
guitar or singing. So if you're really passionate and if you believe that's your purpose, you will find a way. Take the middle road.
yeah. Right, right. I always say that people, I don't know, you guys don't have it. It's a supermarket up here. It's an Italian supermarket, and they always have a singer on Sundays, and they walk through the aisles, and it's usually older gentlemen or
Yeah,
women, and they're just singing the classic beautiful songs, Frank Sinatra, all those, and it's wonderful, and they say like yeah, like this is my passion late in life. This is what so it
yeah,
doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to right? You don't have to be like, "I'm gonna be on Broadway. I need to be on Broadway right away." It's like
yeah.
there's a series of steps. There's a series of milestones to get there.
But you brought up a good point. This is what happens with people far too often. They have a desire and they're here,
Mm,
but they want to go from 0 to 100.
yes.
And when that doesn't happen, they get discouraged and they quit.
Mm,
That's why I focus on taking one step at a time. Even if you name it, you've taken a step, write it down. Then what is another step you can take? Write it down. And it's like anything else. Once you start a journey, picture it, right?
mhm.
You're taking a drive across country. Your destination is to get to California from New York, right? And how do you do that? 1 mile at a time.
Right.
Will there be detours? Probably,
Mhm.
right?
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
don't
maybe
just arrive, even
you
on a
just
plane. You
that's
just don't
it.
arrive.
That's it.
Yeah. The
Think about it.
journey is the becoming, right?
Now you got it.
Yeah. The journey is the
Not the
becoming.
destination, is who are
Yeah.
you are becoming.
Right.
That's it.
And I don't think you ever stop becoming. I mean, either. I think you just keep going. I don't think there is a destination,
No,
Eva.
there's always that next.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, all right. So Eva, if people want to get a hold of you, where can they get a hold of you and what can they, what can they ask or for?
Yeah. They can reach me at evamkennedy.com. And I'm gonna tell you a real quick story about that. I relaunched and rebranded my business this year because
Okay.
last year, that little still small voice said to me, because I used to have this vision that my name would be in lights. And the little still voice, small voice said to me, um, how what make you think your name can be in lights? You don't even use your name. I was using One Evolution business and coaching, right?
Mm.
And then one day, so I decided to relaunch and use my own name. And then one day, the little still small voice said to me, "Yes, your name will be in lights, but not for fame, but for freedom."
Oh,
So I have stepped into the true essence of who I am, and I
right.
use my voice, my
Mm,
name, and my story to
mm.
remind women of their power so they can pursue what it is they desire.
Oh, I love that story. It's
Yeah,
so true. I have a similar story. Because when I started this, it started as a radio show and now it's the podcast, but my name was so small. I don't even think it was on there at first on the graphics. And then one of my brothers had said to me, "Where's your name?" And I was
yeah,
like, "Well, I want to celebrate other women." He's like, "But this is yours." He's
yeah.
like, "Put your name on it." So then I was little, and then slowly over the year it got a little bigger, bigger, and it's so funny. And now, like, let's say on Spotify, or I didn't have my name on it either on the title, and someone's like, "Jill, I mean, put your Secrets of Powerful Women with Jill Conway. Like, why don't you have that up there?" And I was like, I always thought, I guess in the back of my head that it was like, I guess I did what we say, right? I worried what people would say,
Mm-mm.
right? You'd be like, "Who does she think she is?"
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
But see,
yeah,
when you do it, you give other women
yeah,
permission to do the same, and that's how we rise together as a community. You're
yeah,
using your name, your story, and your power, your
yeah,
voice,
yeah,
right, to share
yeah,
it, and look how
yeah,
many women
yeah,
you're impacting.
yeah. As you are. We're building a movement. We're
Yeah,
changing the world, Eva.
that's it.
Yeah, one at
Yeah,
a time, one woman at a time.
that's it, one step at a time. So
Yeah,
just declare what it is that you want and just take one small intentional step at a time. That's how transformation begins, because once you start taking the steps, you will gain momentum. And before you know it, you'll look back and say, look how far I've come.
which I don't think we people do. I always think they look how far they have to go, and they never appreciate how far they've come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because when
yeah.
you look back how far you've come, that gives you courage, inspiration,
Mm,
skills and experience to rely on. Right?
mhm,
Because life will give us the skills and experiences we need. And we have the skills and experiences. We forget about it sometime. But when you look back and you say, you know what? I never thought I could overcome that. But guess what? I overcame that situation.
mm.
And if I overcame that situation, I'm certainly not going to give my power to this internal obstacle that's trying to stop me.
Right, because
Right?
that voice comes to everyone, that negative voice comes to everybody,
Yes.
no matter who you are, that, "Oh, what are you doing? Is this right? Maybe I look stupid." I feel like everybody gets it. It's just
Yeah.
the power is shutting it down.
That's it, and
Yeah.
recognizing that you're giving your power away to something
Mm,
that you have control over.
mm,
That's it.
mm. Before we leave, Eva, I didn't mention your book, Just Sleep. What is that about? Obviously, I mean, you can kinda tell, but,
Yeah, but it's, inspirational messages really to help women focus on the person within. The
mm,
L is for live life for you. The E is expect good things to happen. The
mm.
A is accept the things that you can't change. And the P is prosper in all areas of your life. It's inspirational messages designed to help women focus on themselves. For women that's been lifting everyone else up, to give themselves permission and to be okay, not from a selfish standpoint, but from a standpoint of living life for you.
Mm. Oh, I love that. And you have 2 other books too,
Yes,
right?
Inspirations for the Soul,
Hmm.
and I have a workbook because I also do workshops, Witness the Most Powerful You, 5 Fundamental Principles to Create and Live the Life You Desire.
Oh, I love that. All
Yeah.
right. All right. So I think that's it. I think we have run out of time, but you did mention how people can work with you and go to her website. And I think that's it for us. A big thank you to Eva Kennedy for coming on the show and sharing your incredible story, Eva. Really wonderful.
Jill, the work that you're doing is amazing. Thank you so much for empowering women and just creating that space for women to be okay with themselves and give themselves permission to live an amazing life. Thank you. I
Oh,
appreciate you.
oh, I appreciate you, and you're doing the same thing. We'll do it together, and our worlds will collide again, Eva. I know that for sure.
Most
I know.
definitely.
Yes, we'll have to collaborate on something for sure. But wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm Jill Conway, and thank you for listening to the show celebrating incredible women like Eva. I hope you're inspired to pursue your own goals, believe in yourself, and dream bigger. Your voice matters, and your story can help others. I hope you join me next time and share this podcast with a friend and follow us on Instagram. Bye, everybody.